So Hugo, high profile couple of weeks for the yard, starting with Gifted Master in the Stewards Cup. How's he come out of that?
He's gifted. Yeah, he's such an amazing horse. He's bounced out of it really. You wouldn't know he'd had a run. He was pretty fresh going into it, having not run since having admittedly quite a quiet run in the King's Stand at Royal Ascot. So he came out of the run really well. And it was very exciting. He's probably going to have to be disappointing a few times for him to run in many more handicaps in his career, but it's quite nice for him to be unbeaten in handicaps.
No more handicaps on the agenda next, so what will be next for him?
I think the most obvious race for him is to go back to listed level. It's a sort of irony of the British racing programme that he's now too good to run in a 250 grand race again, so he has to run in a 50 grand race or 40 grand race. It's a bitter irony really of British racing, but he'll probably go back to the listed hopeful stakes that he won last year. I think we're looking to, after this rain that we're having at the moment is through, I think we're looking for sort of return to fairly settled dry weather next week, and that'd be nice for him at Newmarket's July course next Saturday.
And another yard favourite, Unforgettable Filly.
Yeah, it was a good 8 days for Dr. Ali Reader. And full credit to him, the owner, actually, because I'd given him the opportunity to retire the horse 2 or 3 times. I said, you sure you want to keep going, sir? She's not really doing much for us. And it was very sporting of him to keep trying. And I suppose that is the nice thing about training good fillies, is that all their successes boost their profile, and their failures don't diminish it. Whereas if you get stallion prospects beaten half a dozen times, the gloss comes off them very much. But with a good filly, they can. It doesn't matter as long as they've won their group races. However many group races they get beaten in, no one judges them, and that's certainly the same as her. And I think for the first time she won the German Guineas the Sunday before Royal Ascot last year, and she'd just won at Haydock, so that's sort of 6 weeks in between. So the first time in 13 and a half months she's actually produced a group class performance, which was obviously lovely, and she'll head back in the direction of group races next. The Atalanta at Sandown looks an obvious target for her, but she's very much a fast ground filly. Yeah, well, James Street as well. He needs to improve. He's raced exclusively over 6 furlongs, and he was beaten ahead on debut, and then has won 2 races. He needs to improve. He will go to York next week, and he'll run in the Acomb. I think he'll be versatile on the ground. I think he will improve for stepping up to 7 furlongs, and I imagine that he will be one of the more experienced runners in the Acomb, because it's the conditions of the Acomb, obviously, that they're horses that have not won, the horses that haven't won before the 12th of July. So he ran before the 12th of July, but he won on the 18th, I think, and has won again since. So he'll be one of the more experienced horses in the race. His work's been very pleasing since. We think he'll improve for stepping up to 7 furlongs, and we put him in the Dewhurst because if it was to go right and he was to win the Acomb, well, then you're going to want that entry, aren't you?